we have our next lecture. We're going to chapter 4. Chapter 4, but chapter 5. Chapter 5. Let's start with anyway, we're going to section 51 of the negotiable instrument rights of the holder. Rights of the holder to sue payment. The holder of a negotiable instrument may sue thereon in his own name, and payment to him in due course discharge the instrument. Kaya, rights of the holder. Rights. Who is the holder? Is the one that the negotiable instrument was negotiated or was transferred to. It's the party who received the negotiable instrument. So, this party has the right to sue. Section 52. What constitutes a holder in due course? Although we have discussed this earlier, this is, I think, a further discussion of who is a holder in due course. A holder in due course, as I have said, is a holder who has taken the instrument under the following conditions. A. That it is complete and regular on its face, meaning there is no blank. It is complete. Every information is there. Date, the amount, the name of the payee, the location when it was drawn, and the installment. And there are no erasures. There is no erasures, and there is no smudge, or there is no it's complete and it's perfect when we're talking about the face of the instrument. B. That he become the holder of it before it was overdue and without notice that had been previously dishonored, if it was such the fact. Okay. When the promissory note came to this position, we have to look first, is it overdue? If the date is still within the payment period. If there has been it has been previously dishonored, because if when we're talking about check, we usually stamp at the back. It has been already dishonored, that there is lack of funds, due to lack of funds. So there's no such markings, no stamp, no presence of being overdue, dishonored, disallowed. Okay. C. That he took it in good faith and for value. Meaning good faith, no knowledge, whether the issuer was already dead, or the idea that it was used in fraud, and there was a value given in return for that bill of exchange or the promissory note. When we're talking about good faith and value, meaning he had the money in exchange for that, or goods equivalent to the value that was the promissory note or the bill of exchange. D. That at the time it was negotiated to him, he had no notice of any infirmity in the instrument or defect in the title of the persons negotiating it. So, during the negotiation, the holder or the transferee should have no you should have see any sign of defect in the instrument or the persons, the title of the persons negotiating it. Like for example, if the one negotiating is just the beggar, or it was just somebody you knew that he has no capacity to have this check, then that is already against you. You're not already the holder for value, or the holder in due course. They're already what you call there is already doubt, and there is already some infirmity. Section 53. When a person not deemed in holder in due course, or an instrument payable in demand is negotiated, and an unreasonable length of time after it is issued, the holder is not deemed a holder in due course. Okay. As always, if you say that if you look at the document, it was already yellowed through age, and when you look at the date, it was issued long time ago, then it's not a holder in due course. You have always to put doubt in your mind if it's the promissory note is still negotiable. Diba? There's always there are signs. If it is already long overdue, then it is not. You're not the holder in due course. Section 54. Notice before full amount paid. Where the transfer received notice of any infirmity in the instrument or defect in the title of the person negotiating the same, before he has paid the full amount agreed to be paid, therefore he will be deemed a holder in due course only to the extent of the amount theretofore paid by him. So, self-explanatory. Section 55. When title defective. The title of person negotiated the instrument is defective within the meaning of this act when he obtained the instrument or any signature thereto by fraud, duress, force, or fear, or any other unlawful means, or for an illegal consideration, when he negotiated the breach of faith, or under such circumstances amount to a fraud. So if there's a fraud, there's a deceit. And duress, meaning you were forced, there's a threat already. Force. There's already force. Duress. You are forced to do things for fear of physical harm, or so it is already considered defective. Section 56. What constitutes notice of defect? To constitute notice of an infirmity in the instrument or defect in the title of the person negotiating the same, the person to whom it is negotiated must have actual knowledge of the infirmity or defect, or such fact that his action is taking the instrument amounted to bad faith. Okay. You knew beforehand that the check was just taken forcibly by this party, and you still accept it, then you know that's bad faith. When you know beforehand that the check was just taken or is stolen rather, then that's still bad faith. And you know beforehand that the one negotiating was mere an employee, and it's not the person who negotiated the instrument to you, without any signs of or any documents saying that he had the authority to do so, then that's bad faith. Section 57. Rights of a holder in due course. A holder in due course hold the instrument free from any defect of title of prior parties and free from defenses available to prior parties among themselves, and may enforce payment for the full amount thereof against all parties liable thereon. Okay. Say, a holder in due course, as I have said, had the best right to pursue payment, because receive it in good faith and no signs of defect, accept the promissory note or the bill of exchange in exchange for the value, had paid for the value for the check, then he has the right to pursue payment for the full amount. Section 58. When subject to original defenses, in the hand of any holder other than a holder in due course, a negotiable instrument is subject to the same defenses as it were non-negotiable. But a holder who derived his title through a holder in due course, and who is not himself a party to any fraud or illegality affecting the instrument, has all the rights of such former holder in respect of all parties prior to the latter. So we're talking about here when a holder in due course, then parties after the holder in due course have the same right, not subject to any defenses. Section 59. Who is a deemed holder in due course? Pabalik-balik. Again. Every holder is a deemed prima facie to be holder in due course, but when it is shown that the title of any person has negotiated this amount was defective, the burden is on the holder to prove that he or some person only claims acquired the titles as holder in due course, but the last mentioned rule does not apply in favor of parties okay bound in the instrument prior to the acquisition of such defective title. So, the holder in due course, so you have the burden of proof to prove that he acquires the promissory note with no defect at all, and the title has of the party or the persons negotiating prior to him has no defect also. Instrument and the person negotiating it, he can only be considered as holder in due course because he had proven that he has good faith, acquired the promissory note without any defect, and the one who negotiated the promissory note or the bill of exchange has no defective title to the promissory note or the instrument. Then he is considered holder in due course, who had the capacity, who had the right to pursue payment from all previous parties. So that is called holder in due course.